Now, the foreign-backed Syrian opposition says it may allow foreign forces into the country if President Bashar Assad leaves power. The coalition says it could accept the deployment of an international peacekeeping mission in Syria only if Assad steps down. The announcement comes after UN Arab League mediator Lakhdar Brahimi said a ceasefire would only hold if overseen by foreign forces. The Syrian National Coalition was formed in Qatar in November under US pressure. Assad's opponents, including armed groups, receive funds and arms from Saudi Arabia, Qatar and Turkey. To discuss this more, I'm joined from New York by Maupin with the International Action Centre. Welcome to the programme, sir. Mr. Maupin, the Syrian opposition has a plan to involve foreign forces in Syria. What would this mean for Syria? What would this peacekeeping mission do? When will it leave?
Well, any peacekeeping mission that involves helping the Syrian rebels is misnamed because these Syrian rebels are bloodthirsty murderers. They have committed slaughter all over the country, and in their own words, if they come to power, there will be mass murder of Alawites and Christians all over Syria. These are mass murderers. These are death squads, and they're already receiving aid from the U.S. via Saudi Arabia and via Turkey, and they're being funded by the U.S. to create chaos in Syria because the U.S. government and the banks and corporations of the United States know that they cannot control Syria. They cannot trust the Assad government to carry out their orders. And so they want to create instability and chaos. And that's the same thing they did in Libya. They've done it before in numerous countries in the world. And the fact that Assad is the target here, that's not the conversation. The conversation should be about the U.S. trying to create instability and funding a group of bloodthirsty murderers who committed huge crimes. I mean, videos have surfaced of them just murdering innocent people left and right.
Indeed. And why is there this prevalent concept that only foreigners can solve the crisis? Why not the issue can be solved through a national dialogue?
Right. The concept of self-determination, the idea that the people of Iran have the right to run Iran, the people of Syria have the right to run Syria, the people of Chile have the right to run Chile, the people of Cuba have the right to run Cuba. That's never part of the discourse. It's always this idea that the U.S., that just out of the goodness of its heart is going to go around the world solving people's problems, when in reality, the U.S. goes around the world murdering people in order to keep people in line and keep the profits flowing into their banks. We've seen what they did in Iraq. We've seen what they've done in Libya. Nowhere have they ever intervened and brought peace. They've always intervened and made things much worse for the people there. So it's the duty of the people all over the world to stand against U.S. intervention in Syria and say the U.S. needs to stop giving arms to these bloodthirsty, murdering rebels.
And wouldn't the toppling of Assad cause a power vacuum and, as a result, more chaos in the country?
But that's exactly what they want, is more chaos in the country. If there's more chaos, that means more arms get sent in. That means they get to send in more drones, and they get to make more and more money for the military corporation. It means that there's more instability, and that means that Iran, which is close to Syria, is even more threatened. It's all part of their agenda. It's the same thing with Israel going into Gaza. It's the same idea. It's the same destabilization, the same destruction, the same chaos, the same profits from war. What they're doing all over the world. Even in Latin America, they're doing it. In Asia, everywhere they engage in destabilization and militarism in order to make profits and to bring down regimes that dare stand up to them. There was a time when the U.S. had dictators that it supported, like the brutal Shah of Iran. But at this point, they don't even want dictators they support. They just want chaos. They just want wars and misery. And that's what's going on all over the world right now, and the U.S. is fomenting it. And it's the duty of the people of the world to stand against this militarism and chaos and oppose these Syrian rebels and other forces that are sent by the U.S. to create misery.
All right. Maupin with the International Action Centre from New York. Thanks for your time, though, sir.